Assalamualaikum and very good morning to the lecturers and all my fellow friends. Today, I'm going to present about my project proposal, which is Water Quality of Unimas West Campus Lake and Role of Phosphorus in Eutrophication. This study will be focusing on the physical and chemical parameters such as dissolved oxygen, chemical oxygen demand, biological oxygen demand, total suspended solid, pH, and ammoniacal oxygen. These 6 parameters will be carried out to determine the water quality index of Unimas Lake. The location of this study is Unimas Lake, which is located at Unimas West Campus. According to the Department of Development and Asset Management of Unimas, this lake have maximum depth at 7.62 meters, and the main source of this lake is rainfall. The most popular activities is kayaking and also food court operation. Food court operation will be operating from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day in the campus. This kind of activities may cause the water quality to decrease. As we know, the studied area are very important for recreational activities and habitat for aquatic organisms. Therefore, the water quality should be established so that no contaminant occur and will affect human and organisms' health. However, this study area has limited research regarding its water quality, source of pollution, and the effects to the environment. In the other hand, Unimas Lake should be a convenient place for students to do recreational activities. So, this is the objective of this study. Therefore, the objective of this study is to determine the water quality index (WQI) of Unimas Lake, to identify human activities that cause eutrophication, to determine on how to control phosphorus input to natural waters, and to identify the effect of the phosphorus contained in the lake. So moving to the next slide, this is the literature review of this study, and the first one is definition of the water quality. So according to the World Health Organization 2010, water quality was determined by conducting the chemical test with selected parameters at different points of water system. It can be divided into physical, chemical, and microbiological properties of water. Water has many importance such as agriculture, drinking, and recreation. Each of the uses has different chemical, physical, and biological properties. So this is the second part of the literature review, which is characteristic of water. Characteristic of water, such as temperature, taste, color, and odor, can be identified by sense, such as touch, smell, sight, and taste. Thermal capacity, viscosity, conductivity, and solubility will be affected by the temperature as the chemical and biological rates of reaction increasing with increasing temperature. The chemical characteristics of water are related to the rocks and soil which contact with water, plus municipal, agricultural, and industrial treated wastewater also affected the water quality and the characteristic of water. So moving to the next slide, which is water quality parameters. Water quality refers to the amount of the contaminants in the water. It usually measures the condition of water related to its chemical, physical, and biochemical characteristic. The water quality parameters that included in this research are dissolved oxygen, biological oxygen demand, chemical oxygen demand, pH, total suspended solid, and ammoniacal nitrogen. These 6 parameters are proposed by the Department of Environment Malaysia. So the first parameters is dissolved oxygen. DO is a crucial parameter for aquatic ecosystem. DO is refers to a measure of amount of oxygen that is present in the water. Oxygen level, which are too high or too low, can harm the aquatic organism and affect the water quality. The second one is biological oxygen demand, BOD. BOD is amount of oxygen that are used by microorganisms to decompose organic matter in the water. The lower the BOD means less oxygen is removed from the water. That means the water is pure. If the BOD is higher, more oxygen is required by the aerobic organism. Excuse me. If the BOD is higher, more oxygen is required by the aerobic microorganism, which results lower water quality. So the third one is chemical oxygen demand, COD. COD is referred to a measure of oxygen demanding to degrade the chemical in the water. It is very similar to BOD, but to break down the chemical rather than bacteria, COD test is determined by using a strong oxidizing agent. The next one is total suspended solid, TSS. It refers to the insoluble solid suspended in the water. The higher concentration of suspended solid indicates the concentration of bacteria, metals, and pesticides in the water are higher. This can cause many problems on water qualities and aquatic organism. The next one is ammoniacal nitrogen. Ammoniacal nitrogen is free ammonia and ammonium which is present in the water sample. It is a measure of ammonia content in waste products such as sewage and wastewater. Ammonia can poison human directly and also can affect the water quality in water system. The last one is pH. pH is, as everyone knows, is referring to the measure of acidity and alkalinity of water on a range of scale of 0 to 14. When the pH is lower, the water gets acidity. Meanwhile, if the pH is higher, the water become alkalinity. At pH 7, the water become natural. So the next part of the literature review is definition of eutrophication. Eutrophication is the process which lake or pond become enriched with nutrients, which result the water unsuitable for human use, both for water supplies and recreation. Eutrophic lakes are nutrient-rich. Plants are grown in the form of microscopic algae and rooted aquatic weeds, produce a water quality unpleasant for body contact recreation activities. Eutrophication is one of the major challenges for the scientists. This excessive enrichment of source of nutrient in the water, such as nitrogen, phosphorus, and lead, cause a serious water quality problem. So the last part of the literature review is 2.4 Effect of the eutrophication. The process of eutrophication is associated to the aquatic food chain. Algae use carbon dioxide, inorganic nitrogen, phosphate, and other nutrients for growth and reproduction. This plant will be consumed by the zooplankton. The availability of nitrogen and phosphorus in natural water is contributed by the productivity of the aquatic food chain. The limitation of plant nutrient can control the amount of plant growth and normal balance of the food chain. Abundant nutrients cause the growth of blue-green algae, which are not easily decomposed by zooplankton. Thus, the water becomes turbid and under extreme condition. The excessive growth of the algae on the surface of the water system produce unpleasant smell. Decaying algae also cause the dissolved oxygen in the water to decrease. Moving to the next part of the slide, which is methodology. So this is the method that will be used in this study. The first one is dissolved oxygen. Dissolved oxygen will be carried out to analyze the concentration in the water sample by Winkler test. This method is used at its calorimetric modification, which the manganese produced on acidifying brown suspension react with the EDTA to produce pink color. The manganese is the common metal which can give the color reaction when react with the EDTA. The next one is COD. COD test use a chemical which oxidize organic and inorganic substances in the water, while BOD test, which is also known as BOD5, is depend on the result of DO. The analysis will be conducted in 5-day period, which the sample bottle will be put in the dark, incubated condition to get the accurate result. So the next one is pH. pH can be divided into acidity and alkalinity. Acidity is the capacity of the aqueous solution to react with hydroxyl ion, while alkalinity is the amount of solution to the neutralized acid. Titration acid with the base will neutralize the solution. The pH of the water sample can be taken ex situ by using the pH meter. For total suspended solid, the water sample is filtered using pre-weight filter to measure the TSS. The solid that is left on the filter is dried in the oven until the weight is remain constant. Then cool it in the room temperature, and the increasing in the weight of filter indicates the TSS. The last one is the ammoniacal nitrogen. To determine the ammoniacal nitrogen in water sample, this discrete calorimetric analyzer can be used. This method can be used to analyze the natural water, wastewater, and sewage. So this method is distinguish ammoniacal nitrogen in milligram per liter, and the outcome can be shown in NH, NH3, and NH4 NH4 depends on the requirement. Free ammonia may be calculated from the ammoniacal nitrogen depending on the pH of the sample. So this is the expected outcome of this study. The expected outcomes from this research are uh, identification of sources that contaminate the Unimas Lake, propose a water quality index WQI for Unimas lakes, and the last one is provide the suggestion on how to control phosphorus input to the natural waters. So this is the example of my work schedule. As you can see here, it has data collection, proposal writing and presentation, bench work and sample processing, progress report, data analysis, data validation, statistical analysis, and report writing and presentation. So this is the last part of my proposal, which is the references. This is the reference that I go through to produce to finalize this research proposal. So that's all from me. Thank you.